All right, I'm ready.
You ready? Everybody's ready?
Hold on, Brent's got to put his chapstick on. That's important.
She's got to put his chapstick on before we start.
It's got to have smooth lips.
Yeah.
For all the ladies watching.
So chap here.
Top 10 video. Top 10
From 1996 to 2002, I worked at a mom-and-pop video rental store called Top 10 Video. This podcast is a way for me to revisit those years and some of the films that were released during that time period. Joining me on this journey is my love, my sweetheart, my unicorn, Holly Nicole, a.k.a. Holly Pop. Say hi.
Hi. Oh, hi.
That was
I'm
good.
sorry. I just thought you were going to introduce my cow.
Yeah.
You know.
Today we also have a special guest from the Introverse and Coffee with Suga podcast. My long-term? That's not right.
Yeah.
Your long-term partner.
Yeah, just say it, Robi. Come on.
Your partner.
Today we also have a special guest from the Introverse and Coffee with Suga podcast. My longtime friend, Brent, you're my boy, Blue Evans.
What's up? Here we are. Doing it again. Yep.
It's another one. I thought we could wax poetic about our video store memories for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But a little more about like pre-Blockbuster and Hollywood video. Like they took over and like all the small little video stores shut down. Like what were our favorite video stores before the big boys?
I don't remember their names because they were all individually owned.
Yes.
You know, they were really small. These were usually people were like, this was a good idea. I need to get on this. But, you know, I'm not really wealthy. Let me just start a little business. And
And also, do you remember gas stations? Like you could go in a gas station.
What? I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? And like a lot of gas stations that had the little shop, you could also, they would have like a little movie rental section. I remember that.
Side?
Yeah, like inside the gas station.
Don't remember that.
Me either. I'm a little hurt that you didn't introduce our cow.
Yeah, well, we didn't put a lot of effort into that.
We didn't.
Let's work up to it.
This is Bessie.
We're going to work up to Bessie.
She's a special guest, though.
She is a special guest. But she's going to make her appearance. I'm going to introduce her once we get to the why there's a cow behind you.
But yeah, going to the movie rental places, that was awesome. Even before Blockbuster. Blockbuster made it better.
It was more streamlined.
It was streamlined. It was clean.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was the other thing. You didn't know how clean those video stores were going to be. Sometimes you'd rent those tapes and you'd be like, "Meh."
They were gross.
There's something on this tape.
Yeah, we know.
It's like you with library books. I imagine you felt the same way about VHS tapes.
Exactly. Yeah, I would put my gloves on to put it in the VHS, but I would still rent them. You know, I didn't have like a hard rule like the library.
Yeah.
You know, no library books.
So, Holly, did you have a favorite video store? Do you remember any of your video stores?
I mean, Blockbuster was always my favorite because there was this guy named Buzz that was very reliable. He always was. He was like older. He looked like Willie Nelson, but a clean cut version of Willie Nelson. And he knew his shit about movies.
I can't picture that. A clean cut Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And he was so freaking cool. I'm like, man, I want to be Buzz.
Lightyear?
Like when I'm older.
Aldrin.
Oh,
huh?
Which Buzz?
No, we were trying to figure out Buzz. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
And then when you could start renting video games too, that's when
that was
a whole
huge.
different discussion maybe, but it was still part of the fun. That Friday night, you know, you go pick up a video game and a movie or a couple movies.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we'd get like 2 movies.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, because sometimes it was a backup plan. You would get one there was one that you were going to get usually, like, because remember they would give these calendars out at the video store, so you knew what movies were coming out each week.
Coming. Yeah, you get there early.
Yeah. Well,
you work there, so you just,
once I worked there, yeah, I used to try to freaking sneak shit.
I remember the disappointment. Like, well, going to Blockbuster, really, because the new releases, they would have a whole block set
a wall
up for it.
They'd have
Just
a wall. Yes.
And getting there, and they had like the covers, like, so you knew that's what it was, but you didn't take the cover. You took what was behind it, which was the plastic case. And you, from a distance, you couldn't tell that there was nothing there until you got close. Oh, they're out!
They're out of Armageddon
already. It just came. Oh God, you're early.
It's 4:00.
And then you would go ask them, "Hey, can you go see if there's any in the box outside?"
Yeah.
Like, dude, it just came out today. They're not due back till tomorrow. Can you just check? Just check. Maybe someone.
I remember that. I remember. Yeah. Can you please check? You would go look at the returns. Like
you could look behind. Like
you could kind of see the stack of returns. Yeah. And I would
go.
I
see it here. I see it here. Can you come? Can you check it in and then check it to me? Just like a line of 20 people.
Yeah. No, good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And younger people listening are probably like, "That sounds like a pain in the ass." Like,
but it was so much fun.
It was, because it was like almost like a scavenger hunt. You went
something to do.
It gave you something to do.
You looked forward to it all week. You have nothing to look forward to now anymore, besides death. Now we just die. It's nothing fun anymore.
Slick Sam's.
Everything's been made too good.
Slick Sam's. Was that in Homa?
That was it. Slick Sam's.
Slick Sam's Video.
How do you remember that shit, dude?
I remember on rare occasions when there was a movie that we really wanted to see and it just came out.
You would drive to Homa?
We would check ZM, which was up our street. We would go to Video Co-op, which was about 5 minutes away. And every once in a while, my dad would be like, well, if you really want to see it, we can try to go to Homa and see if it's at Slick Sam's. And we would drive 30 minutes to go see if they had it at Slick Sam's.
And if they didn't,
we were really disappointed.
Yeah, you're coming home with the Karate Kid again.
Coming home with the Karate Kid. In our first episode, we covered the top 10 rentals from November of 1996, and we talked about The Arrival, Holly Pop and I. So now we've arrived at December of 96. Toy Story actually came out in November and ultimately dominated that month.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. CGI.
But in December, another huge summer blockbuster came out to rent. And it was the number one video rental of that month. Can you guys see that?
Oh, you made a PowerPoint presentation for this? Fancy.
Dude, this is what I was rushing to try to finish because I realized that my list was wrong originally.
You got real tired all of a sudden. You have like a little
there's
clicker.
Gonna be a quiz, Brent.
Like,
there will be a quiz at the end.
Buckle up, guys.
There will be a quiz at the end. All right. So, any guesses? Do you guys remember what was number one at the end of 96?
December 1996. We've already graduated high school.
Yep. And this would have been a movie that came out in early summer.
No clue.
No clue. All right, let's see.
I mean, is it what I'm here to talk about?
This is not the one that we're here to talk about. No.
Oh, that movie was awesome. Independence
Day was the number one rental for December 1996.
So good.
And it was really our first big alien invasion event movie that I remember.
Patriotic too.
Oh yes, very patriotic.
Yeah. This is your Independence Day.
Yeah, it came out July 4th.
Yeah.
It made Will Smith a star.
Yeah, he was already a star, but
he was a star, but he wasn't a movie star yet, right?
Really? What about Bad Boys?
Was that before Independence Day?
I don't know.
But to me, this was the one that put him over the top.
It was a big one. This was a blockbuster. Yeah, for sure.
As big as it gets. As big as it gets. All right, number 2 was
The Eraser. I remember this picture, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's one of the lesser Schwarzenegger films. Like,
who's the female in the background?
That's Vanessa Williams.
I was going to say, that looks like Vanessa Williams.
Rest in peace. Vanessa Williams.
She died?
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure she died quite a few years back. I think she had
She
some
was
kind of
beautiful.
rare something or other.
It's rare beauty.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to say she's the weak point of this movie. I mean, Arnold wasn't the greatest actor, but he had a screen presence.
She's still alive, Robi.
Is she?
Yeah.
Did you just look it up?
Yeah, she's 61 years old.
Oh, really?
She's
Why
probably
did I think
listening to this. I'm dead?
I'm dead.
She's
We're gonna
definitely
start all
listening to this.
rumors.
And I apologize, Vanessa. There was another. There's got to be somebody else who passed away.
Vanessa Williams was the Miss America that did Playboy or something and got her crown taken away?
Yes. I think so, right? Yeah, she definitely did. I think she definitely did some sort of nude photography. I don't remember looking it up or anything.
Pretty.
Number 3, December of 1996.
That was funny.
Was The Nutty Professor.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Eddie Murphy. What?
Really?
Yeah.
The hell?
Eddie Murphy at his peak,
doing all the different characters.
Yeah. He started that with Coming to America, where he would play all these different characters, and then he just kind of really leaned into that.
And he leaned into the more family films.
That's true. Right. PG-13 instead of the
Coming
hard
to
R
America
stuff.
was not family.
Number 4, another family film here.
That's right.
Striptease.
Demi Moore in Striptease.
Some people get into trouble no matter what they wear.
That is an interesting tagline. I don't quite know.
I don't even know that it applies to this movie, does it?
Because she doesn't wear anything, right? So
does she even get into trouble?
I don't know. I remember
was offered
watching
$1 million to sleep with the guy, right?
No, that's a different movie. You're thinking of
Indecent Proposal.
Yeah, you're thinking of an Indecent Proposal.
Oh, what is striptease?
She's just a stripper.
The title says it all.
She's a stripper.
Maybe she does get into some trouble.
Probably.
Strippers always get into trouble somehow.
Yeah, Demi Moore was pretty too.
She still
I really liked her in what was the one where she was in the Marines?
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane was good.
Yeah, that was a good one. This was one of those movies where I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't just bring it home and watch it.
Yeah, it'd be weird, right? Like, oh.
Even though I was 18, I still was like, okay, I'm gonna have to sneak this and watch it after my parents go to bed.
Did you?
Probably, yeah.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah. All right, moving along here. Number 5.
Expect the impossible. Is this the first Mission Impossible?
The first Mission Impossible.
It's really good. I liked it.
Yeah, first Mission Impossible.
Wow, this is a good. This all came out in 1996.
This was just December's
what the
list
hell
for
kind
rental.
of world do we live in this now?
Think about it, dude.
You just listed off 5 movies that were fantastic.
Yep. I mean, Striptease is okay, but still, it's crazy. When I look at the list of movies like that just came out overall in 96, Braveheart came out this year as well.
Oh, is it going to be in this list?
It's insane how many great movies came out during this time period. And when you compare it to the movies that come out now, it's like
garbage.
It's
even to the number 1 movies are garbage.
It's crazy, man.
Like this is
number
6,
Dragonheart.
Was this with
Dennis Quaid? Was the knight? Sean Connery did the voice of the dragon.
Sean Connery. Shock it, Trebek.
I've never seen it.
It was one of the first like full CGI characters. The dragon, other than the dinosaur, because they were like, "Oh, they did dinosaurs. We can make a dragon." You know, so
how do we copy Jurassic Park, but not copy it?
I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't know how well the effects hold up. But I remember liking it back in the day.
Yeah, I remember liking it, but not enough for me to remember anything about it.
Right.
30 years later.
Number 7.
I did not like the Cable Guy.
Cable Guy.
Yeah. I got a little bit too tired of Jim Carrey earlier than other people.
But here's the thing. When I first saw the Cable Guy, we were all expecting Ace Ventura, Mask, Dumb and Dumber Jim Carrey. And it was
Wasn't he kind of dark?
Yes, it was very dark.
Yeah. You can
Directed
tell by the cover.
by Ben Stiller, though.
Ben Stiller directed it?
He did. And if you go back and watch it now, it's actually kind of a brilliant movie.
Okay.
Like it's held. I think it's actually held up better than some of his.
Is this going to be in one of your episodes?
We'll see. We'll see.
Like, what's he doing with that coaxial cable?
He's shoving it up your.
Is that the right name of that?
Yep. It's a cable. Yeah, coaxial. Right.
Yeah,
I
love
believe
that
so.
word.
We
Number
never
8.
use those anymore.
I don't think I've seen Primal Fear.
Primal Fear.
Sooner or later, a man who wears two faces forgets which one is real.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde type story?
Well, it is because of the twist ending.
You know, it's really like interesting. Before the internet, how rumors started and stuck around. Like Richard Gere putting a gerbil up his butt.
This is when that happened.
Like, how does that start?
I don't
and pick up so much traction that everyone in the world
thinks
knows
that's
this
a thing
rumor
now.
and thinks it's true.
Right. And maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know Richard Gere, but
I don't know either.
How does that rumor get started? This was the time period, though. It was late. It was in 1996 when that rumor started, and it's crazy how many years later, almost 30 years later, and people still.
And we're talking about it. We're talking about it right now.
We still think
like
Richard
he had to go to surgically remove it or something, right?
I don't know. All right, number 9 was number 1 the previous month, Toy Story, and it dropped 9 spots.
That's good.
But think of all the movies that came out in the interim.
Such a good movie, man.
Yeah.
Good story. Even though it's a kid's movie, it's good.
A great story.
It is a good movie.
You know?
And
it's kind of like the Velveteen Rabbit.
That's when you know it has good writing. When you, even as an adult, you're like, you know, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, that was when Disney back when Disney was still making, you know, really great stuff.
Have you ever went back and watched the first one? It looks like shit.
It does look way worse than I remember.
Yeah, it's bad.
But I mean, the animation is still
awesome.
Smooth. This was it. This was the first CGI full-length animated film too.
Yeah. They had good jokes in it. You know, it was good.
Yeah. Number 10 this month.
Oh wow, Fargo's
was Fargo.
The Fargo television series. There's this.
Yep, it's good. We Holly Pop and I have watched most of it. It's good. Each season is a completely different story with different characters. So
okay,
it's really good.
Yeah, it's great. Very well done.
Coen Brothers.
All right, and dropping out of the top 10 list, but despite that fact, because of my poor planning, that this is the movie that we are talking about in this episode, Twister.
Okay, so you promised to like get this shit straight. Your lists.
Dude, you would not believe how difficult it is to find a sort of consensus on the list because depending on
yeah, like, there wasn't like a publication or something.
There were, but I can't find these publications anymore. They're all gone. You would think they would just be on the internet, but they're not.
Someone on Reddit, some freak that just keeps them all.
Dude, I thought that. I thought it was going to be easy to find the list, and every time I find a new list, it has different movies on it. So I'm like,
you know what that means? You can just make up stuff.
That's right. As long as it came out around that year,
it can be
boom.
Robi's list.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was supposed to be number 10?
Well, originally I thought that this was actually number 6 this month, but I was wrong. It was actually number 6 the month before in November, and so I got things backwards here.
From the producers
Twister, do we remember Park. Twister?
Of course, dude. This movie was awesome. And this is not my kind of movie.
Uh-huh.
But then again, back then, it didn't matter if it was your kind of movie or not. Like, you didn't have a whole lot of... Apparently, we did have a lot of options. Because look how many great movies, but...
Yeah, I think we had more options then than we do now.
Maybe so.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, it is
we got more
rough.
options now. Our options suck now, is the thing. Like, seriously, I can go scroll through 500 movies right now.
Yeah.
And not pick one.
Yeah.
You know?
That's kind of crazy. There's something different about when you walked through the video store to find something.
Yeah.
And you could go to the genre that was your favorite or whatever. First, you went to the new releases to see if there's anything.
New releases first.
Yeah, to see if there's anything new you wanted to see.
Yeah, that you didn't realize, oh, this is out now?
Right. And then if there was nothing.
Your...
Yeah. And there was almost always something there. It might not have been in.
Right.
But there was something there, and that was what you would get the next time you went. So you would just be like, oh, okay, there's the new release I want's not here, so let me go check in Action Adventure and see what they got there, you know.
Yeah.
And you would rent The Karate Kid again.
So what is it says, don't breathe. Don't look back. The dark side of nature.
Yeah. It's hardcore.
Yeah.
So we know that this was, I don't know how many of you know this, but I realized this last night. This movie was written by Michael Crichton and his wife.
What?
Yes.
Dude, me and you were big Michael Crichton nerds.
Yes.
Like, big. And we didn't know that?
I don't remember this.
It kind of makes sense if you think about it.
The scientific part, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of trying to get the little metal sensors inside. Yeah, the Dorothy thing inside of the twister.
Right, and they measure whatever data that's coming back.
Right.
I thought that was real. That's classic Michael Crichton, you know?
It is, absolutely. Steven Spielberg produced it, and Jan DeBont, the director of Speed, directed it.
Speed was good.
Which makes sense. So, Holly, I'm curious, did you see this when it first came out in theaters, or did you rent it?
I don't remember if I saw it in the theater or not, or if I rented it, but I did see it when it first came out.
Yeah. What about Betsy? When did she see it originally?
Betsy didn't see it coming.
What the hell is Betsy? Oh, the cow.
You should probably introduce
it's
Betsy now.
Actually. It's not Betsy. It's Bessie.
Oh, Bessie? I'm sorry, Bessie.
She's really offended, actually.
She looks offended.
She looks a little deflated from that comment.
Yes. But this movie was basically like about the Crips and the Bloods of the meteorological world. How do you say that? Meteorological world.
The dark side of nature is the competing meteorologists.
Yeah.
Racing toward disaster.
Yes.
You know.
But like I completely forgot that the other meteorologist freaking died. Like
yeah, I don't remember that either.
He's played by Carrie Elwes, the Princess Bride.
Oh yeah. He plays a good sleazy.
Smarmy kind of. Yeah. Honestly, Princess Bride is one of the few movies where he is the hero.
Yeah.
In almost every other movie, he plays the slimy other guy.
Yeah.
He played in Seinfeld.
He did,
an episode of Seinfeld.
Great cast, too. I mean, you got Bill Paxton.
Yeah, I like Bill Paxton. He was good in there.
A lot of people criticize his performance in here. Because, I mean, dude, every white leading man was basically up for this role.
Really? Oh, and he was kind of mid.
Tom Hanks had the role originally.
I can't see that.
And he even had picked out the wardrobe and everything. Like, this is what the guy's going to wear. And then he had done Apollo 13 with Bill Paxton. And he said, you know what?
Yeah.
Bill Paxton's going to be better as this guy than I will.
Tom Hanks said that?
Yeah.
He handed it off?
Yeah, he handed it off and said, you do the movie.
What a good friend.
Yeah. Either that or he was like, wait, jet engines? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
But I couldn't buy Tom Hanks as,
I feel like, yeah.
Sorry, I can buy Bill Paxton because he seems like somebody from Oklahoma, with the plaid shirts and everything.
Well, also the tornado is kind of the star of the movie.
That's true.
Tom Hanks would take away from the tornado.
I think that's the reason why the people cast here weren't giant movie stars. Like Helen Hunt was known for Mad About You. She was a sitcom.
I forgot that's who she was. Yeah, Mad About You.
Yeah.
The song is on the tip of my tongue. I wish I could sing it right now. I can't fully think of it.
What was the song for Mad About You? I don't remember.
Something a little catchy, poppy.
Mad About You.
Mad About You.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that show very much. It was about a married couple. I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it very much.
There's also a funny episode on Seinfeld where George and his fiance are sitting in bed watching Mad About You.
That's right.
This is your life now. This is your life. You're going to lay in bed on a Friday night watching Mad About You.
They did have crossover episodes, though, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
I think Helen Hunt even showed up in an episode of Seinfeld, just like...
Maybe so.
I feel like they did that. Friends, too, they did crossover episodes.
Yeah.
Well, we were watching that thing about the Twister ride at Universal yesterday. Because I could have sworn that Dustin had done the ride with me, but he couldn't remember.
She was adamant that I went on that ride with her.
You were scared?
No, I never went on the ride.
He never went on the ride.
Didn't go?
It closed. I guess I fantasized about it, and I thought it really happened.
Yeah.
So,
it closed the year before I actually met Holly, so there's no possible way I could have gone with her.
What was the ride, though? Was it like one of those where you sit in the seat and you watch the movie and your chair kind of jiggles?
Yeah, and like the wind blows.
Wind on you.
Well, no, it was a stand-up. They didn't sit down. They stood up, and they basically had special effects. They created a tornado like right in front of you.
Oh wow!
Using, how you can do it inside of a like a glass tube or whatever.
Yeah,
like they did that, like
make a little vortex.
Yeah, vortex. And they've got like fire effects. It was almost like the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, but without any people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't as cool as the Indiana Jones thing, but like they hired Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton to kind of
be actors on the screen.
Be actors in it, but they couldn't be together because they couldn't stand each other.
Yes, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they got drama?
Apparently.
Yeah, they had drama.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Apparently
the
there was not a
rights,
happy ending for the real life actors at the end of the movie.
Oh man. So no trauma bonding going on there?
Nope, no trauma bonding.
No, but even the minor actors in this, like the supporting actors, all became famous. If you think about it, I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman plays one of the very few characters named Dustin in a movie. Unfortunately, they call him Dusty in here, but
I'm watching Stranger Things over again. There's a Dustin in there.
There is. There's a few television Dustins, but there's very few movie characters
Dustin's
named
a
Dustin.
solid name, though. You don't see any Brents.
It's okay. You're correct. Brents. Wow. Are there any Brents?
No. It sounds like a fart, dude.
What?
Brent. You don't want to put that on the screen.
There's tons of Hollies. Jeez, it's like
there?
Yeah. First off, almost every Christmas movie has a Holly in it.
Movies, songs, children's plays. It's always a Holly.
Holly has no comment about
Care
that.
to chime in?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying not to seem vain.
She's
yes,
zoning
I know.
out.
We're
She's
amazing.
zoning out again.
My name is amazing. Everyone loves my name.
I used to think I had magical powers because my name was Holly, because of the songs with Holly, because I heard it so much. I'm like, oh, wow, I must be special.
Wow.
And then I grew up and realized I'm not.
I disagree, but okay.
We just never thought we were special. So then when we got older, we're like, cool, we're here.
Yeah. Here we are.
Here we are.
What you see is what you get.
Yep.
You never got that ego kill.
That's right.
Well, what's interesting about Twister, to get back to the movie, Jan DeBont, he said this was because CGI was becoming so prevalent. He said, we have the ability to make it look, the Twisters look real now.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but we still have to do all of the damage in practical effects. Like,
right.
Because like 80% of the movie is still real shit. Like they actually destroyed houses. They destroyed a whole town, actually.
Debris,
the debris is all real.
The wind.
Yeah, the wind.
You can't CGI wind on a person or on a tree or,
Right.
I mean, it won't look good.
Right. The farm equipment, like dropping the farm equipment down at the end.
That was real?
Yeah, they like really.
See, they would CGI that now.
Oh, they would CGI the whole thing now.
The whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Like, there's, and all that stuff still looks great. Like all the real stuff they did looks legit.
It holds up.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree with the explosion when that killed the other meteorologist.
Okay.
Because I feel like the explosion in our music video that we did Mondays looked a lot better than that explosion.
Yeah, your explosion looked really good, dude.
Did it?
Yeah, it's like some stock footage. Like you can.
Yeah, it was just some.
It's easy to get now.
Yeah, it's not difficult to sort of just layer in some different things. You can make it look okay, but I still disagree with you. I think the explosion in the movie still trumps ours, but it wasn't the best effect. There's a couple of the Twister effects that haven't held up. The water spout in particular, the sisters.
Yeah, like never saw two tornadoes.
Yeah,
is that what that's referencing?
Yeah, well, it's two water spouts that are sort of converge on his Dodge Ram truck, which badass truck, but
which Brent was supposed to dress up as a Dodge Ram today.
Yeah, that's right.
Difficulties in
couldn't find the headlights
in costume and design.
Just turn the AC down.
Yeah, that truck was awesome. That was like, if I remember right, that's when it first came out, and it shifted from that square looking, which I still love the look of those older trucks, but shifted from that square truck to something sleek and sexy.
I read that Ford really was pushing. They wanted the F-150 to be the truck in this film, and Dodge won out with their new model. And I feel like that's when the Dodge Ram truck took off.
Like, it definitely helped. Because I mean, you're also doing something like dangerous, manly, badass. Going hunt tornadoes.
Right. It survived multiple tornadoes.
Yeah, it's got Dorothy in the back, strapped down.
Mm-hmm.
That thing weighs 2 tons. You can haul it, no problem.
In the movie, though, he says when he pulls up with the truck, she said, "Do you have liability insurance?" And he says, "No." No. He only had liability. That's the only kind of insurance he had.
He didn't have any other.
Who gets a brand new truck
collision
and only gets liability insurance? That just made no sense to me.
I feel like he wasn't making much money in his new job as a meteorologist, and
he had a brand new truck.
I feel like he made a lot of bad decisions.
Oh, he did. Horrible decisions.
Starting with his career.
And then
that's not a good career choice.
So he originally marries a woman and chases tornadoes with her
together.
That's their thing. Like
Did they ever say why they were getting a divorce?
Well, they argued all the time.
Part of being married, right?
Yeah, but there was no reason why they were getting a divorce. Like
it was weird, right? Because she still seemed to be in love with him. Other than they really argued over the divorce and
not what caused the divorce.
Yes, I feel like they had differing opinions about
tornadoes,
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
when they go visit it's her aunt, right?
Oh, with like the wind chimes and all that.
Yes, she's got all the wind chimes in her yard, and she feeds them steak and eggs, which, by the way, very good. That was primo.
The meal looked good, right?
Yes, the meal was delicious looking. Like I had just eaten, and I was still like, wow, I could go for some steak and eggs right now.
She was an amazing host.
She was
good host.
She was like Brent's mom. Brent's mom's an amazing host.
Yeah, good host.
Suga. By the way, check out Coffee with Suga, wherever the podcasts roam.
What I don't understand is he wants her to sign these divorce papers and then immediately get married again.
He wants her to sign them, or she wants him to sign them?
He wants her to sign them.
He wants her to sign them, and she's not signing them?
Well, she's been putting it off. Apparently, he gave them to her in the summer, and she's just been sitting with them, and then he brings them again, another copy, and she supposedly signs them, but she forgets one page, except for one line, basically the final page, the most important one, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait a minute, you forgot a page."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, did I?"
Let's go chase this tornado together.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how she lures him back in.
You're gonna have to hop in the vehicle and chase this thing.
That's definitely how to get your man back.
Do they get back together?
They do. Yes.
They do, but it's destined to end.
You think?
He's a douche. He's a total douche. Okay, so this new girl that he brings along, he's like,
he brings another female.
Yeah, the woman that he plans on marrying right after he divorces her. He brings her along.
Well, I feel like they've been split up for a while.
He lets his ex ride shotgun and sticks her in the back. I'm sorry, that's a fucking deal breaker. I'll be like,
move.
fuck you. You're not. No.
I feel
that
like
should have been what the movie was about. If that happened in reality, they would have never chased a Twister. That would have been a huge thing.
I feel like the new fiance didn't want to sit in the front because she was scared about she's like, "You are the expert with tornadoes. I don't want to be in the front if something happens." So I don't think she was that upset. I mean, she was a therapist. She was a relationship therapist of all things.
Well, I mean, not only does he not let her ride shotgun, in a few other scenes, he makes her ride in a completely different truck while he's riding around with his ex.
With Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Billy Bob, yeah.
Which actually, I feel like she had way more chemistry with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Dusty, his character of Dusty, than she did with Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
No.
Who also, by the way, he's my favorite character in the movie, Dustin. Not just because his name is my name, but he's just a whack. It's like, they don't really explain why he's crazy. Bill Paxton says a line, something like, "Yeah, you haven't seen, if only you knew why he was that crazy," or something, when he first introduces Dusty to his fiance. Yeah. But you never find out why he's crazy. I wanted it to be like he was struck by lightning 7 times, or something wacky, but you never
actually got sucked up into a Twister once.
Right, yeah. Yeah, the only story you hear is about Bill Paxton, and when he was drunk one time and he threw like his bottle of beer or alcohol, whatever it was, into a Twister, and he got sucked up into the vortex.
I don't see why that made him so cool, though. This Bill Paxton's character was an ass. He was a total ass. Like, he was always trying to start fights.
I disagree.
I would be signing those divorce papers so fast that you would be seeing smoke come up from the pen.
Wow.
That's how much of an ass he was. Yes.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why she was holding off on that.
Well, because they had a shared passion.
But he wouldn't let her drive. He wouldn't let her drive.
She's a
She's like,
woman.
oh, you want me to drive? No. He wouldn't let her drive. He's always trying to start fights with everybody.
She drove the second time. He only drove that first time, and he did such a horrible job. He let her drive for the rest of the movie.
Okay. There's one thing that he did right, though. Like,
Okay.
he did tell her to buckle up her seatbelt,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was kind of sexy because, like, he was worried about her safety. Unlike
Sure.
last night,
That's sexy.
when Dustin tells me, hey, buckle up your seatbelt.
Really?
I said, oh, you care about me. And then he said, no, I just was annoyed by the dinging.
Yeah, I was gonna say beeping doesn't stop until you
Ding,
buckle it.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding.
Like, what kind of psychotic person will sit there without their seatbelt on? Like, that's a red flag. I'm sorry you're this far in your marriage, Roby, but that's a red flag.
No, I usually do put my seatbelt on.
Like, oh God! Like, if it dings once, I'm irritated. Like, are you kidding me? This is
Roby
you don't
is bad at it, though. Like I'm
you don't
telling
have
you.
a routine where you get in the car and automatically put your seatbelt on. Like, that's not part of your routine. Like, there's steps. When I
No.
get in a vehicle, it's boom, boom, seatbelt, done.
That's usually my routine, but I was trying to fold up the thing that he puts on his windshield.
Yeah.
And then he just started up the car and just
In all
started
fairness,
backing out,
in all fairness, it was my fault because
peeling out of the driveway.
I have one of those visors, those
Yeah.
foldable
Those
visors on my
aluminum-
windshield,
yeah,
and
keep
she
the
was
heat
trying
out.
to fold that up, and that's why
Okay.
she had not put her seatbelt on yet. So
Okay, so this isn't a normal thing you're fighting with.
no. Normally, she puts her seatbelt. She
Yeah.
clicks it pretty quick. So
Oh, so Roby has red flags.
You don't put your seatbelt on right away, dude?
yeah, I do.
You just let it beep?
Sometimes we're like 2 blocks out into the
in
neighborhood.
blocks?
Yeah, when I'm the
Oh, God.
passenger.
You know, that's so much beeps.
No, her car has a delayed reaction though.
It
Like,
does
over
not.
certain miles per hour?
Yeah, I think so. Like once
Mm.
it doesn't start dinging immediately, it's like once you pull out, then it'll start dinging, and then I'm like, oh, I got to put my seatbelt on. So
Mine won't let me put it in drive or reverse.
Really?
My seatbelt.
Wow, that's some very
Wow, his
controlling
car
vehicles.
really cares about him.
Yeah,
Does
no,
it?
it sucks if I'm just trying to adjust my parking spot.
Oh,
Like, you know, if you get out and you're like, oh man, I'm over the line a little bit. Let me just fix this. And it's like, God damn it. Buckle up.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Favorite moments from Twister? Do we have any?
The cow, obviously.
Do we think it
That's-
held up? I mean, I
don't
actually
know.
enjoyed it last night. I enjoyed the movie. There's some cheesy parts. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's so frenetic. It's very fast paced. Like you almost don't have time to like question like, okay, that was kind of goofy or
What's
whatever.
frenetic mean?
It just moves so quickly.
Okay.
There's memorable characters. I thought
Yeah.
the relationship between Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt was actually kind of nice. Like I actually bought that they were a couple that had
Okay.
been, going through a rough patch. So,
yeah. Well, I feel like if he wanted to divorce her so bad, like when she kept saying, I want to see it. I want to go towards the tornado. Why don't you just let her go? You wouldn't even have to worry about her signing the divorce papers.
It's interesting that she had that trauma from being a kid with tornadoes.
yes.
And decided, this is what I'm going to do.
hmm
'Cause
The
they're like,
original script did not have her dad dying at the beginning. It was just a bad tornadic experience,
oh, that's good.
and everybody still
Tornadic
lived. But
experience.
Steven Spielberg said, I think the dad has to die because that's going to be the reason why she's so
She's
hell-bent.
chasing after it. Yeah.
But the
It's 'cause
reason
it's
she
kinda like
wants to chase after
revenge.
it is to find out more about tornadoes so that they can warn people and save more lives. Like it's not
You
just
don't
because she
think maybe
likes.
she thinks her dad is still up there spinning around?
But something that's more logical than chasing tornadoes is thinking of better storm doors
Yeah.
for
right?
sellers.
Right.
That's a good
Like
point.
better locks.
Like, hold it. Like, they're going to hold those doors or pull them in.
Yeah. Well,
They
it was nice.
survived. They just were downstairs, leaned up against the wall. Why didn't he do that? Why was he right there? I can't hold it. All right, well, just come down here and stand here with
But
us.
where everyone else is
but
at.
here's the thing: he held the door just long enough as the tornado passed by, and then it swept him away as it left. So they didn't deal with as much wind as he was dealing with, I don't think. Because otherwise that doesn't make any sense at all. It's like it's Jack and Rose.
Rip his arms off.
Yeah, it's the Jack and Rose on the platform. It's like clearly there's enough room on that platform for 2 people.
Right.
It's like, dude,
movies don't always have to make sense.
Go to the back of your cellar, as far away from the door as you can. Even if the door gets ripped off,
you huddle up.
But what is the scientific explanation? Like, would the tornado have sucked everything in there out of the place? I don't know.
It's so random. I think tornadoes.
Yeah.
You know, you ever see like when it goes through and it destroys a lot of houses, and there's one house untouched,
one house still standing. Well, that happens in the movie at the end when they have to. They go to that farmhouse compound area where they have all the blades in the barn, and she's like, "Who are these people?" And there's like knives and shit flying everywhere.
Right. Perfect scenario.
They end up strapping themselves to a pipe. Everything gets destroyed except for those people's house. Like the farmhouse is there, the barn, all the horses are all gone and shit. But you know,
it's crazy now. With like everyone has a video camera in their hand. So for this last hurricane that was here, I forget the name of it.
Milton.
But yeah, Milton. Like so much footage of the tornadoes. It's wild.
Yeah.
How easy it destroys houses.
Hot knife through butter.
Just
it's crazy.
Debris.
I was actually reading some of the reviews for the original Twister on IMDb, like just randos reviews, talking about the movie. It actually has a relatively low rating on IMDb. It's like 6 point something out of 10 or whatever.
It doesn't shock me.
But here's the thing. People were complaining about the unrealistic tornado behavior. They were like, a tornado could never pick up a tractor and suck it into the thing. And
easy.
Other people were like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, it can do that with a house. Like,
pick up a battleship. Like USS Kidd just floating around in the space. And
yeah. Some of the dialogue is a little cringe, a little cheesy, but it's 1996, man. It's 30 years old.
Still better than the crap that's coming out today.
Exactly. It was a fun movie. It was again a blockbuster film like Independence Day. It was just a fun experience at the theater.
It was fun. Hell yeah, it was fun. I watched it multiple times.
Dude, like Jan DeBont told the movie theaters to crank up the volume during screenings of Twister.
Yeah.
And the projectionist would do it, and it was actually blowing out speakers in theaters all across the country because they weren't really supposed to do that. Like, you should keep it at a certain level. And they were blowing out rumbling. Speakers. Yeah.
You want that. You know when you pass by a movie theater, you're not in it. Yes. And you hear that, and it's like, ooh, what's playing in there?
What's that?
And you kind of hear it shaking.
Yeah, I should be in that one.
Yeah. What is that? What are your thoughts on Sharknado?
Now that's a piece of
brilliant
shit. Never
concept,
a top 10
right?
video.
Yeah.
That was way after I left Top 10 Video, but the Sharknado, I did watch it. I watched the first one because everybody was talking about it, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's such a ridiculous movie." It's horrible, dude.
So bad, it's good.
But I don't even know if that's true. Like,
of course, it's not true.
It's really bad.
You think there's a tornado with sharks in it?
No. I'm saying the quality of the movie. Like, let's say Steven Spielberg did Sharknado.
Oh, you think that it's just bad? It's not even.
I'm just saying it's bad. Like, I got very little enjoyment out of it. Like, even the goofy, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's good.
There's a whole group of people that like that kind of stuff.
But let's just imagine the concept. If Steven Spielberg did a Sharknado movie with amazing effects where it looked great,
it'd still be bad.
It would still be bad because the idea is stupid.
It would be the next Waterworld.
Well, I like Waterworld, so
financially speaking.
Financially speaking, yes, it would be the next Waterworld.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we've come to the important part of this podcast where we will all rate the movie Twister. And the rating system for Top 10 Video is super easy. It's a 10-point scale.
Okay.
Where does Twister 1996 land for you?
So nothing funny in it? No little zingers?
There's nothing funny.
It's 10 point.
It's just a 10-point,
it's
1 through 10.
It's easy to remember.
All right. You go first, Holly.
All right. So I'm giving it a 6, and I have notes here as to why I'm giving it a 6.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It was okay. I didn't fall asleep.
Which is
even though I
very
was
impressive,
sleepy,
by the way. Very impressive.
and I was sleepy, and I didn't fall asleep. So, but I did rewatch it, and I wouldn't have rewatched it if I knew it was awful. I knew it was a pretty good movie when I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
But Bill Paxton pissed me off too much, and she pissed me off because they put up with him. Both women put up with him. Like, I'm like, why are y'all even putting up with this guy?
Yeah.
Also, they were never hit by any debris at all. Like, they're running away from the tornado, and there's all this debris. Like, not even a splitter, not even a shard of glass hit her eye or anything.
They didn't have like damage, like at the end of Indiana Jones movie, he's all beat up. Nothing like that in there.
I feel like
I don't think they got very many injuries at all.
They had some cuts,
little
and
cuts
scrapes.
and dings.
I don't think they had any cuts and scrapes.
It was a little unrealistic at the end when they were looking up into the middle of the tornado that was on top of them.
The eye. They could see up the eye of the tornado.
They could see into the eye of the tornado, and there was another mini twister inside of it. Which scientists now say that there's way more than that. Like, it's the inside of the tornado is actually full of other smaller twisters. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is actually before they knew that. They actually know more information now.
It's tornado inception.
How deep does it go? Tornado inception. That's right, Holly.
So, okay, but I did get a good idea from this movie. Like, if Dustin ever tried to divorce me or anything,
just don't sign the papers.
Don't sign the papers. Say, hey, let's just do one more podcast together.
Yeah, that whole divorce scenario doesn't actually work like that.
See, here's my...
You can't refuse a divorce. It just depends how you want it. You can drag it out, make it expensive.
Right.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
maybe that's what she was
doing. If the other party doesn't want to continue...
end of the day, we don't need you to sign anything.
There's really nothing you can do. But
another good thing is it had a Tori Amos song in it.
I thought you would mention that.
I love Tori Amos.
Was it like on the radio or something while they were driving?
It was right at the beginning.
What was the song?
The introduction to Helen Hunt's character.
What was the song?
It's called Tallulah.
Tallulah. Yeah, if you listen to Holly's music, Holly Nicole Combs, check it out. And Tori Amos's music, there are definitely some parallels there, I think, in your songwriting and
but
vocal styling.
I'm definitely not as talented as Tori Amos, because Tori Amos was playing the piano like a pro when she was 3, so...
Tallulah.
Fun fact, this movie was originally supposed to be rated R, and they actually had to go in and cut out a lot of more graphic tornado injuries, and they cut out some F words. In fact,
I think there would be a lot of F words.
Helen Hunt's first word in the movie when they introduce her character is fuck, but they mute it. You can see her say it like, but they mute it
because
out.
She saw Bill Paxton coming?
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No, she was fixing a truck or something.
Yeah, she was working on something or other. All right, is that all you have to say?
Were there any kids in this?
No kids.
I obviously did not rewatch this.
Well, the kid was Helen Hunt at the beginning.
Yeah, there was a kid.
But I feel like maybe they should have got like the little girl from Jurassic Park and threw her in there. Could you imagine all the screaming?
Right. Yeah, very few kids. They do show a kid like with her family, like her family survived the storm at the end, and Helen Hunt looks at that family and is like, well, that wasn't me. I lost my dad.
Yeah, mine's dead because of Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Imagine the trauma. Forget about Helen Hunt. The trauma of this cow sitting there in the field, chewing its cud, and shitting, because I guess that's what cows do: chew cud and shit. And then suddenly, in the middle of taking a shit, the fucking tornado.
That was a cool scene. Yeah.
Picks this heifer up.
Yeah, I liked that. Because that happens, man. Those cows get picked up.
Yeah, and
horses.
Another fun fact, they actually used the zebra from Jumanji. That was the original animal that flew in when they tested the shot.
Okay.
Because they already had that animated, like they had that in the computer, ILM, and they had to turn the zebra into a cow, too. Because obviously it makes no sense for a zebra to be flying around in the tornado.
Okay. That's a fun fact, Robi.
All right, B, what's your rating?
So not having watched it again, so coming from a different perspective, I give it a solid 7.
Okay.
Because it's really good. But like when I compare other movies, like just from the list you gave us.
Yes.
Independence Day. Like if I put it up next to Independence Day, Independence Day is probably like an 8.
I haven't watched it in a while. I don't know
maybe
how
a
it would hold
9.
up.
Well, not holding it up. Just this is my opinion from back then.
From when you first saw it.
Yeah, it was. And 7's not a bad score. That's a good score.
No, it's only 3 away from perfect. Yeah, so.
Right. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah,
solid 7.
I'm
We're not gonna go on the decimal point.
I'm probably around there. I might even edge it up to like 7.5 just to.
Yeah, that's why I say solid.
Because
solid 7.
If I include the nostalgia factor, this movie has a great soundtrack, by the way. It's got a great songs you hadn't heard in a while. Like there's an old Goo Goo Dolls song that just pops in on the radio, and you're like, "Damn, I forgot about Long Way Down." I was like, "Damn it, I forgot about that Goo Goo Dolls song." That was back before they made all their cheesy ballads, and they were still kind of a rock band. But it was a good revisit.
Yeah, that's also good about watching movies from that era too.
Yeah.
There's the music.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make good music.
Great
anymore
soundtrack.
either.
This is when Van Halen broke up, actually, because they have 2 songs on the soundtrack.
Really?
And they have dueling guitars playing over the end credits, and it's Van Halen. And apparently one of the guys didn't show up for the recording for this, and there was an argument, and they pretty much broke up.
Okay.
Probably has to do with the Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt thing, too.
You think so?
They were all pissed off. It ruined a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Twister just ruined everyone's relationship.
Yeah, really good. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7.5. That's gonna be my rating for Twister. B's got a 7. Holly's going with a 6.
Which is good for Holly, I think.
Yeah.
Because
she's got high standards.
I feel like she stayed awake for the movie. It's an action movie that she stayed awake for.
That says a lot. She needs just a binary rating.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a 1 through 10. You can do 1 through 10. Hers is just binary.
I stayed awake or I fell asleep. That's the 2.
That's it. That's the 2.
If I stay awake, it at least gets a 5. It's not going to go below a 5.
Okay. That's good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I liked it. Twister. What are your thoughts on titty twisters?
They suck.
Yeah, right?
I would imagine it's even worse for women.
More to grab onto.
Imagine a dick twister.
Oh,
yeah. That would probably hurt too.
That.
Oh my God. I don't. Well, you were the one
what
talking about
phase.
helicopters yesterday.
What do helicopters have to do with it?
Well, I had a student come up to me tattling on another student saying, he's talking about helicopters.
So?
And I said, there's nothing wrong with helicopters. And she's like, not that helicopter.
What does that mean?
She's like, the helicopter where they swing their stuff around. And then she was like gyrating her hips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. You don't know how to handle that as a teacher. Yeah. All right, well, just ignore it.
Like,
and then
that's how I dry off every time I get out of the shower. It's not normal?
As long, which explains why there's like just water drops all over everywhere. His bathroom.
Yeah.
The mirror is just
full
covered
of water stains.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, if he was doing it in class, sure, okay. Put your dick
doesn't really
back
work
in your
unless
pants.
your wiener's hanging out.
He was just talking about it.
Right, she was just talking about it. So I feel like it's inappropriate. You probably shouldn't be talking about it with girls in the class.
She thought she had a Me Too moment. And it failed.
You just have a talk with the boy. Hey, don't say anything like that in front of her.
Talking about your wiener, dude.
And move on.
No one wants to hear it. If you want to talk about your wiener, go start a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that's for.
That's the appropriate place to talk about wieners.
That is what podcasts are for.
Yeah.
Wiener talk.
Yeah.
Have any of us ever seen a twister in real life?
I have. Off in the distance. Far, far distance.
Yeah.
I have in the distance as well.
Yeah, not close at all.
I've seen you know how when it's like just like the chub of the tornado, like it's just like it's like thinking about it's coming down.
Exactly.
But it doesn't actually touch the ground. I've seen that. I've seen like the finger, it's like the finger of God, but he doesn't actually make contact.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually finger the ground. He's just like starting to point.
Yeah. Just letting you know it's there a little bit.
Right. I've never actually seen a full-on tornado in
I've
the
seen
flesh.
water spouts really close.
Oh, yeah.
Those are
I've definitely seen water spouts. So I guess
Really
that counts,
cool.
right? Yeah, that counts.
Our
And I've
dust,
seen
like little
destruction
dust
like a
devils.
tornado, though. We all have living
Yeah.
through
Oh yeah,
hurricanes.
living here
Yeah,
with
for sure.
hurricanes.
Like after Katrina, I remember seeing like there were
Slabs.
cars and trees, pianos and trees. It was
Yeah.
like a bomb went off, and it's
Yeah.
devastating.
Oh, it's
It
horrible.
is. It is.
Yeah, the aftermath.
And I think something about that, like certain people really get into movies. Like my dad loves movies where natural disasters.
Really?
Oh, dude.
I mean, I feel like it's the same thing with women in true crime, right? I know we bring this up all the time, but I think guys like disaster movies more than women do.
I like disaster movies. I've been trying to get you to watch The Impossible.
Like, what was the volcano movie with Pierce Brosnan?
Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. He's probably seen it 50 times.
Wow, I love that movie, dude.
So Twister, Dante's Peak, A Perfect Storm.
Ooh.
That
Now
was a
you
good
know what?
one.
That has not held up. The effects in that
Probably
one,
not. Like,
not
there's
so
three
much.
big storms gonna meet here. The only person that can save us is Mark Wahlberg.
I actually think 1997 that'll come up next year.
Cool.
Dante's Peak. Because remember, there were 2 volcano movies that came out the same month.
What was the other one?
Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche, and Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton. And I, by far, prefer Dante's Peak. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I was what's the word I'm looking for?
Pubescent?
No. Like when you
Ejaculate?
you made up your mind.
Pre-cum?
No. You've already made up your mind before you see.
Preconceived?
Yes, I had a preconceived notion to prefer Dante's Peak because of James Bond and Pierce Brosnan, and I was like, GoldenEye, that's James Bond versus the Volcano.
Yeah.
I like him better than Tommy Lee Jones. So
what was the one with Tom Hanks? Throw her into the volcano or something?
Joe versus the volcano.
Joe versus
volcano. That was different. Yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah.
Throw her into the.
Still, it's a volcano. But that was the premise. You had to throw.
He did, yes. That was at the end. He was supposed
to
sacrifice Meg Ryan.
Tom Hanks grinded his career, dude. He
did a little bit of everything.
He did.
Think about it.
He worked for where when he became.
Yeah. Dude, it is insane. If you guessed again, obviously we'll talk about different movies that came out in 98, 99, 2000. Just in those years, like from 96 to 2002, the amount of great movies that came out is kind of astounding to me.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. If you compare it to the list now, it's just
because they don't have to.
Pales in comparison.
They make a ton of money just putting out content. It's just about content now.
Yeah.
Not to say that there aren't good movies. There's good movies that come along. You know, people.
But I was having it was a difficult decision to figure out what movie to talk about because I'm like, well, all these are good. You know, which one I feel like hasn't been talked about lately.
Right. So let's ask this then. Since we just finished 2024, what was your favorite movie filmed and released in 2024? Movies, theater, streaming, whatever.
I liked a few.
I can't think of any, can you?
But I only watched about 10 to 12 movies last year. So I really liked Strange Darling.
Okay.
And
you don't sound too excited about it though.
Well, it was dark. It was a dark movie, but I can get into a good dark movie. It kind of turned a little bit of the heroine, the idea of the heroine and the girl power a little bit on its head, but at the same time not really. It was interesting. I like the way that it kind of flipped things on its head, and also I did enjoy Nosferatu, which was the vampire.
You just saw that though.
Just saw that, yeah, in December.
It was good.
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, another fun fact I forgot to mention: Twister was the very first movie to be released in the United States on DVD.
Really?
Yep.
I might have had it on DVD.
And guess what? Top 10 Video in 1996 and 1997 had no DVDs. Mr. Mike, the owner, he was adamant. He was like, DVDs are going to be just like Laserdisc, and I made that mistake in the early 90s. I bought Laserdisc, and nobody rented them.
Yeah.
And so he didn't want to make the same mistake. He thought they were going to be like Laserdisc and a fad. Like it wasn't going to catch on.
Laserdiscs were huge.
They were. Like
they
a
were
record.
Heavy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
DVDs were like a
heavy.
CD.
Yeah, you could just carry that. Yeah, a whole stack of them.
And CDs could fit in your pocket. Like, I mean, everybody had CDs at that point. So that's what I told him. I was like, Mr. Mike, you need to start getting DVDs. And he eventually relented, I think around 98 sometime. He started getting a few DVDs.
Yeah. Well, there is a period which it's okay to wait because not everyone had a DVD player.
Exactly. And you're not going to make any money off of it.
A lot of them had both,
I've got Twister. I got one movie, Twister. Well, what are you going to do with that?
Try that out. I know some of my first ones. I had the Matrix was my first.
That was definitely
one of my first. Because when I bought a DVD player and then I signed up for Columbia House DVD at the same time.
Yep.
Or no, maybe the Matrix came with my DVD player.
That was a thing.
I got a coupon or something.
Something
came with a
thing.
DVD player. There were some stupid ones too that came with it, but
yeah,
like the whole 9 yards or something.
I like that movie. That movie's pretty good. The sequel sucks, but that one's good. That's crazy that you remember that. I think you are right on. Like that is true.
The Jackal was one of those.
Yep. Yeah, you basically bought the DVD player and you could basically get these movies for however much, like a discount.
Yeah.
Does Bessie? I was curious if Bessie had any final thoughts about Twister before
it's just a moot point at this phase.
Yeah, it's a moot point.
Right.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
A moot point. Is that from Friends?
She just wanted to talk about her
trauma. It's a cow's opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Friends.
Cow's opinion is a moot point.
It's just moo. It's just moo, Robi.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how great the film was. Doesn't matter
it's just moo.
How much she enjoyed doing her own stunts in the film. It's all moo.
Well, you just gave her tricks away. You said a zebra did it, and she's kind of pissed.
After the zebra comment, I'm a little.
She's coming at you.
I feel like the wool's been pulled over my eyes, and.
Oh, that was more of a sheep comment.
Really it's when you find out, 20 years from now, we'll find out Tom Cruise didn't really do his own stunts. It's going to be the same feeling. It was a zebra that they CGI'd him over.
A zebra. Wouldn't that be something like we just got CGI so good, but we didn't really show you that we could do it that good, and all the footage of Tom Cruise actually hanging off all these things is just it's all fake.
Really good CGI.
Yeah, it's just like we actually brought it to the next level. You can't even tell.
Yeah. We
keep it fake to keep everybody honest.
Well, that's the whole Scientology secret.
Right.
That he has is they're really good at CGI. And he's only the one that has access to it because he gives them the most money.
Alrighty, folks.
Got something to sign us off with?
Nothing really. I'm just going to say, yeah, that's it.
All right.
Cut.
Bye.
Oh, wow. She's already gone.
We need a little
goodbye.
One of those things cut.
Goodbye.
Is that so like when they're going back through the film, they know exactly where it starts and stops?
The Top 10 Video podcast is produced by D. Robi and is a part of the Introverse podcast network.